Welcome back, students. We have been looking at the reasons, the purposes of having social audit. Then we got into the example of how NREGA has been deploying social audit. Because NREGA has spearheaded the whole concept of social audit and made it mandatory for all its programs across the country. In all states, we can see now that there is social audit processes being done under NAREGA. So let us try and see this in more depth. So how does social audit process start? Let's say there is a state directorate that we talked about, and now this state directorate will prepare a calendar for the year. That for the whole year. Generally in monsoon it is very difficult to conduct social audits. So monsoon period is being used for trainings in Maharashtra at least. And then social audits start around October, September, October, and will go on till next May or June. So the calendar is prepared that in this month, this district, these villages, these many number of households will be covered, whatever. So that calendar is prepared. And then depending on the calendar, we know which district, which block will have social audit in, let's say, September or October of this year. So then you have to prepare formats which are same across Maharashtra. Format where you go into a household, whether they have worked on NAREGA or not. If they have not, why have they not worked on NAREGA? Did they want work and couldn't get work? Did they get work what they had asked for as per their planning? Did they get work for the number of days that they hoped to get work, that they wanted to get work? So all these questions are part of those formats. And some data collection tools about when you visit a work site, what is it that you will record. So all this becomes part of the processes which go into conducting a social audit. The whole process is designed and kept ready. So once the district that is supposed to be done in the next month comes up, you, from the pool of all the resource persons that you have, you go and take district resource persons and the block resource persons. You have to write to the district collector, deputy collector, Jilla Parishad CEO in notifying the dates on which villages of which block of which district are being covered under NREGA social audit process. Once they are notified, then there are meetings being held at the district level, at the block level with all the concerned officials to tell them about the whole process that is being designed, how it will happen, who all will be involved, who all will give time, and how the results will be shared. So the time period and the roles and responsibilities of each one of them involved will be discussed in these meetings. After the recruitment of block resource persons and from the pool of district and block persons, the process actually starts. The block resource persons and the district resource persons will start collecting data from the online website that we talked about, which is nrega.nic.in. Each one of you can go and visit this website and look for data about your works in your villages under NAREGA. So this information is collected from online resources. They also visit different offices. Maybe it is agri department to get information on the check dam that was built or the farm ponds that were being built, or go to the PWD or go to the Jilla Parishad offices. We visit them and get data which is not available on the website, like the musters. Musters are available on the website, but the hard copy of the musters, the measurement books that are used, the project plan that was being designed in the first place. So all these documents are collected from various agencies which have implemented projects in the villages where we are going to conduct the social audit process. So after all this, there is also a block level meeting where all the block level officials, all the concerned people, especially the Gram Sevak and the Gram Rozgar Sevak, are invited and they are told about the whole social audit process, how the process takes place, how much time will it take, who all will be involved, how much their time is required. But most of the times, it's the Gram Rozgar Sevak and the Gram Sevak who have to give more time. Sometimes it is also the Krishi Sahayak who have to give time during the whole process. The process lasts for around 8 to 10 days and not more than that. After that, what is done is you invite village resource persons. So any village who has 10th pass, 12th pass, youngsters, girls and boys, around who can spare 8 to 10 days are invited, they're interviewed, and for each village, that let's say there are 20 villages being social audit process being conducted in 20 villages, then what happens is you have to recruit something like 60 to 80 people as village resource persons, as village volunteers. And once you recruit the amount of village resource person that you need, then you have to train them. There's at least a 5 days of village resource person training to understand what is NREGA, what are the entitlements, what is the guarantee that NREGA promises, and then what is the social audit process that we are going to conduct. So this is a 5-day training module that has been designed in Maharashtra. Then comes actually conducting the social audit process in the villages. So what do we do? Now we have this set of village resource persons, and there is a block resource person who coordinates with all these village resource persons. And what happens is, now the important point is, all the village resource person that you have, they will be deployed into the villages that they don't know, that they are not familiar with. They cannot go into their own villages. They cannot go into the villages that they are that they have their friends or relatives living in. So they go into the villages. Many a time they are sent into an adjacent block. So if there are 3 blocks, 4 blocks being where the social audit is being conducted, then village volunteers of this block will be sent to villages to conduct social audit in an adjacent block. This is to ensure neutral space of these village level volunteers, because there they will go and talk to people as if they are in a new village, which is very important. So these village volunteers who have been recruited, trained and deployed into different villages where they are not familiar, they will conduct the social audit. What will they do? They will first visit all the families who have worked. They have this list from the website that these were the families, these were the laborers who have worked on NREGA projects in past 1 year or past 2 year, wherever last social audit was done. After that period, that particular period is considered. Now they will go with all these papers, with the formats, visit each and every household and ask these pertinent questions. Do you know about NREGA? Do you have the job card? Did you work? Did you ask for work? Did you get the amount of work that you wanted? Did you get the type of project that you had asked for? Did you get your payments on time? Do you get correct payments? So they will ask all these questions. Were there any problems in accessing your money from the bank? So all these questions, from demand to receiving money in your bank and withdrawing your earned income, all these questions are included in these formats, and the village volunteers will ask these questions to each household. Some of the families will say, we never worked, we don't want to work. Or some of the families might say, we did ask for work, but we didn't get it. Some others got it, we didn't get it. So all these experiences of the people, their complaints are put together after these formats are filled up. So this is one vertical that we have, that we visit all the households. We also visit all the work sites. Whatever has happened in last 1 or 2 years, whether it is afforestation, go and see the trees that are being planted, go on to that Kacha road that was being built, go and visit those farm ponds, those wells, those vermicompost pits, or whatever it was being built under NREGA in last period that we are conducting the social audit process for. Go visit those work sites and do the actual measurements. Because if they say that this farm is of 10 by 10 by 5, then go and check whether it is of that size. Now these are important things to be conducted. And you visit the projects ongoing, also the projects which are completed. And this is the whole process, which takes almost a week, depending on the number of works, number of projects under NREGA. Maybe only 2 works were done, only 25 households participated, then the process will take maybe 3 to 4 days. But if there are like hundreds of households who have participated under NREGA, then the process, the whole social audit conduct process will go on for a week or even more. Once all this is done, you sit at the block level with the block coordinators, with the block resource persons to put together all this data. Look at all the village data. If this family is saying they did not work and if their name appears in the muster, write it down. So you make fine points out of what you have learned from the social audit process in that village. Once you have put together all these documents, once you have found the gaps or the inefficiencies or the complaints of the people, put it together as a simple 1 or 2 page report. Once this report is ready, you have to present it in the Gram Panchayat. So Gram Sabha has to be conducted, which is a special Gram Sabha only for Narega. In this Gram Sabha, like I said earlier, there will be a laborer who will be the presiding over the whole process and not the usual convention of your president of the Gram Sabha, Gram Panchayat Council who will be presiding over. This time it is some laborer who will preside over the Gram Sabha, and this report that has been prepared based on your social audit process will be read out. All the villages need to be there, the concerned government officials like Gram Sevak, Panchayat Samiti related officials, the assistant program officer of Narega, the technical assistants of Narega of the Panchayat Samiti, Tahsildar office people, agriculture department officials, all these need to be there during Gram Sabha. And these issues will be discussed there. Then whatever the minor complaints that job card is not available, work doesn't start on time, or the drinking water was not provided at the work site, these issues which can be resolved, which can be handled and managed at the Gram Panchayat level will be discussed there. The issues which cannot be handled, let's say the bank doesn't behave properly, the bank doesn't allow laborers to come and take their money whenever they want. Now these are the issues which Gram Panchayat may or may not be able to resolve. Then these issues are taken at the block level. So once your minor or simpler issues are resolved at the Gram Sabha level, you prepare another report which is combining all the village Gram Sabha, what were the issues which were taken up, what were the issues which were resolved, and now what are the issues that are remaining, which have to be taken up at the Panchayat Samiti level, at the block level, Taluka level. This is generally called Jana Sunvai. Jana in front of everybody, Sunvai. That is where you are reading out the report. So you read out all this report in front of the block officials, villagers, and organizations like ours. Sometimes media is also present. So in Jana Sunvai, everybody, agriculture department, forest department, minor irrigation, PWD, everybody is present. Laborers are present, and these reports are read out by the block resource persons and the district resource persons. And also one important event is to be remembered here is that Narega has ombudsman. Ombudsman is a district complaint officer who is a retired government officer generally, or it could be anybody else. You and me can become ombudsman, and they are supposed to on a regular basis handle complaints coming under Narega projects. So what happens that in Jana Sunvai, who will preside over Jana Sunvai is this ombudsman, but an ombudsman who belongs to an adjacent district and not of the same district. Okay, so maybe if there is a Jana Sunvai in, let's say, Pune or Nashik, then an ombudsman from Nagar or Dhule or Aurangabad can come and preside over the Jana Sunvai. So this Jana Sunvai I have seen takes hours and hours to complete. There are people being called, questions being asked, things being smoothened out. So once these elected representatives and concerned officials hear people out, they tell you what is going wrong, what is going right, what is the kind of works they want, how much work they want, all this gets discussed and decisions are taken. Decisions are taken in terms of what the Panchayat Samiti or Tehsil office can fix, what the agriculture department or forest department at the block level can fix in terms of the complaints coming from people. Once this is done, again a report is prepared which is to be presented now to the district officials. That things could be get resolved at Gram Panchayat level, at block level, but still there are some issues which are unresolved, points which need to be considered at the district level. Now this report is presented to the collector office. This same report is presented to the social audit directorate who uploads it on the website. So now it comes into the public domain. You and I can read those reports of each of the village social audit process. What are the issues that got resolved and what are the issues that are yet to be resolved. Now collector office, or let's say the deputy collector office, or the Jilla Parishad office have to respond to these issues that are being presented, that are being raised, and then an action taken report to be prepared. Once this action taken report is prepared, same is also being put up on the website for you and me to see. So now we have seen what was the social audit process, what were the issues that were raised, and what are the issues that are being resolved, and in what way by the district officials. So that report is also available on the website. Now this report becomes the basis for the next social audit process, which is to be done, if done regularly, every 6 months. Now these are some of the photographs that you can see here which show the social audit process, how people are visiting the work sites and measuring the work that was being done. And here you can also see the resource person sitting together, poring over the documents that are being given by the government officials, reading through it and trying to understand and analyze it. These are also set of photographs where you see people visiting households to talk to the laborers. This is on the right, what you see on the tree is a proclamation to the whole village to know that social audit process is going on and they need to participate in it. And what you see as the last two photographs is a Jana Sunavai at the block level, which is where people come together and the government officials and elected representatives all come together to resolve issues. Now, why did we do the whole process? Now you have read the whole process. Similar process needs to be designed for each of the welfare programs, be it Gharkul, be it housing subsidy scheme, be it pensions, ration, Fasal Bima, Kisan Sanman, whichever program that comes to your mind, the way the schools are run, the way the PHC is run, works of ANM or ICDS, whatever needs to be understood better, needs to improve so as to reach it, people can go through this social audit process, which will give a much better understanding of what is happening at the ground level. So villagers need to know their rights and entitlements. Now what happens is that when we do the social audit process, an additional benefit is that so many village level volunteers of different villages get to learn about NREGA. And in our experience, this same village volunteers who have been into different villages, who have conducted social audit, go back to their village, hold meetings, tell people that this is such a fantastic program which needs to run in our village too. So this is an additional spin-off benefit that we see because we have trained so many village level volunteers. So people need to know, villagers need to know what are their rights and entitlements under this act or under this program, which they can access and avail for themselves for the development of their village and for the development of their own farms and livelihoods. So what are we trying to understand in the social audit process? Have they received these entitlements? Were they supposed to get job card free? Did they get it? They were supposed to get 100 days of work. In Maharashtra, it is 365 days of work for each household. Did they ask for it? Did they get it? What are the kind of works that were taken up? What are the kind of projects that were taken up? Was the measurement correct? Did the money come on time? Their wages, did they receive it on time? So these are all the issues which we understand from the user's point of view. The beneficiaries are being asked how it is that you experienced NREGA in unfolding in your own village. And on the other hand, we are not accusing fingers, we are not complaining, we are not confrontation based the whole process. What we are doing is we are asking also the officials to say what are the hurdles that they face. What are the problems? That the computer is inadequate, that the internet problems are quite a lot and they are unable to work on time. So what are their issues? Do they have less human resource? Do they need training for their human resource? What is it that the officials need so as to make the program more efficient? So in this way, everybody can voice their opinion, voice their perspective, voice their complaints, and their need for the change that they see, which can bring about better effectiveness and efficiency. What we have seen that after this process is done, we can visit these villages and we can see there is a marked improvement in delivery. Implementation has improved. People's voice is heard. more and more villages now want to get involved in NREGA. If they didn't know it earlier, if they did not have the confidence to get involved, now they have found that the need and the confidence to get involved in NREGA works. Like I said earlier, this the whole experience of social audit processes under NREGA, which is such a huge program, has influenced other services and departments too to conduct social audit for their own programs. Like it could be health, education. In health, especially I must mention that a network of organizations across Maharashtra have come together and have done community monitoring of health services in the villages, which has vastly improved. It has also given a feedback to the government saying that, look, this is what people want, this is what people experience, and this is what needs to change. So all that has happened because NREGA made it mandatory, took the initiative to start the NREGA process, social audit process under NREGA. Now, what do we see? What has happened after social audit? What is the social dimension of the audit that has given it the important edge? It completes a feedback loop in the sense that there is a program being designed, there is a policy, there is a design of the program, there is an implementation, it comes up to the people, and what do people think about it? That never goes back into the system to tell the officials, to tell the bureaucracy, that or to tell the policymakers that, look, this is how it is being perceived by the people. Then it alerts the implementing agency. It alerts the policymakers to make appropriate changes. Now we have seen Ujjwala program where LPG cylinders were given in the villages. So it came up with a very good idea that it reduces drudgery, it reduces pollution. All that is definitely important, and so LPG can be used and needs to be used by all the villages. But the issue of refill of the cylinder, like we see in urban areas, there are no distributors in remote rural areas. So what happens when people cannot refill their cylinders? This issue came up during a participatory exercise when people who were beneficiaries of this program started voicing their concern, and then this idea of some sublets and some urban distributors going into rural areas once a week, something like that. Some answers were sought and tried to be put into force. So this is what makes implementing agency and the policy makers understand the problems at the ground level and try to rectify it. Obviously, it increases accountability. That's the whole purpose of social audit process. That here, though I am being given things on subsidy, that does not mean I can't ask you questions. It gives me the space and the mechanism to voice my concern and ask questions. And this is what is accountability of government officials and government programs. It also reorients, refocuses the program objectives. How are we going to do it? When NREGA realized that it's only the block office which plans all the programs, which plans all the projects, then they may or may not be useful to the people living in those villages. They will work only as laborers there and go away. How is the asset that is being built useful? Useful to the people for whom it is meant. And when we realize that it's only the block office who is doing it, then this social audit processes told the government that let people plan their own projects. And then the idea of integrated planning exercise came into force. So these are examples where the program objectives itself can be reoriented, refocused to make the policy much more better. Finally, and most important is that all stakeholders get to voice their experiences, get to voice their views, so as to be active participant, actively involved in the implementation, not just the implementation, but also the design of the implementation, the mechanism of the implementation that needs to change, improve every year to make the objective work for the program. This is how social audit has been done under NREGA, and like I said, it is now being taken up, encouraged by other departments also. Thank you.